a white man with a tremendous skull and a red face. It's Richie, and I'm a little man. We just went through major technical difficulties. I just broke my iPhone stupid stand. I was trying to bend it, and I guess after all this time, but nothing that a little 3M can't fix. Right, people? Here's what it is. This flex is brought to you by Dreamlight. A major flex. And it is what it is. And as a little man, we're going to smoke this little cigar. Not really little, though. It's little in one way, length. But it's not little in gauge. It's 55 gauge. Nicolas Cage. Cameroon wrapper. The rest of it is Dominican. Just like the Don Carlos, maybe. Somebody said that, but also maybe not. It's the most densely packed Don Carlos. So even if it's using the same tobacco, which maybe, I don't know. As far as age and exact primings, it's the most densest packed. And what I'm thinking is, my opinion, maybe they're using higher priming, it's a slower smoke out of this smaller size, to have more time with it. Because I've never had a Don Carlos this packed. I mean, you can't see it, but I mean, it's packed immensely. This wouldn't really slide off yesterday, slid off today. Less than 24 hours in the Colorado humidor. There's the bowl. The rest of it is Don Carlos 55. The question is, how is it going to smoke? And he really wants to know if it's sweet tipped, because he says it's such a sweet in the beginning of the cap. Now maybe it's perhaps so much fruit pectin, but then Zacco swears the fruit pectin is odorless and tasteless. So that's the question. So it is more than a single cap, maybe double. What's lick the eye or the looks like a nipple. That is kind of sweet. That is very sweet. But is that the camera wrapper? Maybe they had to do something. Wow. Maybe they had to do something to get that eye to stay. You know what I'm saying, though? To be on the safe side. All right. A lot of things have gone wrong today, but the cigar has gone right. Here's what it is. Different father, same mother. You know, when you say the same statement in reverse, it means two different things. If you said, like, you know, same father, different mother, or that's a man that is getting it in. But different father, same mother, that's a woman that's kicking guys out afterwards. Anyways, sweet smell. Soft, gentle heat, I can't stress it enough. I don't know how much time we're going to get with this. I don't know. 20 minutes? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Love the smell. Does it smell like a Don Carlos? That wind is blowing my match. That wind is really blowing my match. Soft, gentle heat, can't stress it enough. Not gonna lie, it smells stronger and darker than Don Carlos, but normally Don Carlos isn't 3 inches away from my nose when I light it. That's a factor. What? Too fucking windy. I don't know. A laser light draw. Chop, chop. Quattro. As that lazy Ligero in the center is taking its time to light up, as cigars always do. That is a thick Ligero. Medium strength off the bat. Medium plus off the second puff. That's better. Medium plus is nice. Medium plus is almost perfect, for morning, afternoon smoke. Just in general, overall, like no one can complain. If a cigar is medium plus, it's not a weak cigar. Generally, medium plus cigars are more about the flavor. Nice smoke output. Heavy medium plus in the third puff. That cigar is a winner. That cigar is a winner. It gets right to it. Now, I can't say exactly if this is stronger tobacco than a regular Don Carlos, because at the same time, you don't normally start in the last third. If this was, if this was a Toro and you have 3.5 inches left, you can never smoke the last inch really, because that's the nub. So really, you have like 2.5 inches of usable smoke. Right there is medium full, but 65% the darkness. It's got a long and not a heavy finish, a little more than medium strength. So overall, the presence is nice. If the finish is long and the finish is heavy enough to stand out, the profile feels like it's classic Don Carlos, just a little darker, a little stronger, a little heavier, which is kind of exactly what you maybe want. Now, I'm going to tell you this hands down right now. Is this better than the regular Don Carlos? The answer is yes. Now, the question is, if they made this Eye of the Bull in a 4, 5, or 6 inch version, would it taste exactly the same diameter? I couldn't answer that. Is there something about starting a cigar in the late third, like a nub, but in this case, tobacco here with the Don Carlos, is this help the cigar? So in reality, with 55 gauge, hear me out. 55 gauge at 3.5. What if they just basically took a Robusto 5x50, increased the gauge, and with the fill with tobacco, in a sense, just flipped it to add the gauge, 5 gauges, which is a lot more than 50. It does. We talk about diameter because, to fill the center more than the wrapper or binder. Point is. What's the point? So is this just Don Carlos Robusto, and they use the same amount of tobacco, and because the inch and a half they don't need here, inch and a half folded in half is 3 inches, and there you go, and then 3 inches of tobacco folded like this. I don't know what the fuck I just said. The point is, though, maybe, I don't know. Why the fuck did they make this size? I don't know, but it's really nice. Smoking like a honcho here. Massive smoke output. I wish you could see this at nighttime even more, but finish is long, nutty, cinnamon, roasted nuts. That's not, I was gonna say roasted peppers, black pepper, cinnamon, really nice. Really nice. If you like cigars like the Cohiba Red Dot, you'll love this fucking cigar. Cohiba Red Dot and Don Carlos are like best friends. That's some of the best non-Cuban medium strength cigars in a sense, even though they can get a little more, but just overall in that category. If you want to have a great happy day, smoke a Don Carlos for lunch, like a Red Dot for dinner. They're gonna pair well, like a pair. Draws effortless, smoking slower than I thought. Wow. The finish and strength is in length and I can't speak. He's getting longer and heavier. It's quite impressive. This little bull is not bullshit. It's stronger than normal Don Carlos, of a regular Don Carlos. We're not getting to the personal reserve. Gets right to it. Is it more expensive? It's not, really. But you're not going to really find this at MSRP for $13. That's the MSRP. You're not going to find that. So it is what it is. How much would you pay for it? I'd max say $20. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's a lot of money. $20 is a high tier cigar. So to pay $6, $7 for a great, more higher end mid tier cigar, which I feel Don Carlos is, regular Don Carlos, that's not that's it. That's saying something. The black pepper and the rich cinnamon and the roasted nuts is all playing in harmony, getting stronger. I have nothing bad to say about this. I have nothing bad to say about it. And look, bottom line is, it's a shorter, bolder, stronger version of the Don Carlos. So, I mean, like I said, to not change the blend except make it stronger, what did they do? Did they pitch your Robusto and take an inch and a half off? If you cut all that filler tobacco off, you break it off, because they're not growing leaves this big, okay? Then what do they do? Just throw it in there? That's the question. The question is, how much more time would a 55 gauge give you over a 50 gauge? That's the question. If the 55 gauge is, not underpacked. There's gauge and then there's reality. Like, you can make a cigar 50, 52, for example, but you could have the same amount of tobacco in both, and that 52 is just underpacked. And then you could have a 52 that's the same amount of tobacco you put in a 54, and it's very packed. And then you got the kind of tobacco, the primings, and how well it plays the rest of the tobacco around it. The ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen, mama rolling that body, got every man here wishing. I'm like, so what, I'm drunk. Let me get that toot. Press 1 if you like that beep beep. Your mother likes the beep beep. What a convenient size. What a perfect breakfast cigar. What a perfect breakfast cigar. The Don Carlos Eye of the Bull, as far as an experience, at MSRP pricing, $13, that's a 4.8. It's better than regular Don Carlos. And I love Don Carlos. 4.8. It is what it is. We're getting towards the end. Well, we started at the end with this cigar. My ash is a little on the flaky side, but I think that might be a moisture issue. I just got these in yesterday, smoking perfect. But I feel if I want to let this, they came in from Long Island, I feel if I would have let this sit maybe another day or two, then maybe it'd be different. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. Draw's going fine, but on the flaky side, I'm going to drop that flaky ash. It doesn't want to go. Okay. But I'm going to make it go. So, as far as the main thing is why you smoke cigars, the flavor, right? Hype, everything else is all secondary. The main thing is it a good cigar? It's a fucking phenomenal cigar. That's a 4.8. That's a box-worthy cigar at MSRP. At $20, it's a tariff. At $30, you're getting fooled. And at $80, well, you're 451. It is what it is. All cigars have their limits. This is a phenomenal cigar. So, like, when I judge a cigar, I'm going to judge it really by its MSRP. If it can be found on the internet cheaper, even better, but that's never going to happen with this. So Fuente's not a dick for pricing this at $12.80 MSRP. So even if you got this for $14, $15, yeah, sure, it's a short smoke, but you're going to get a half hour out of it, maybe 40 minutes if you're smoking slow. The main thing is you're getting a great experience. Rich coffee came into it in the second, third. I don't know if you can tell about thirds in this cigar. It's so small, but in time, maybe up to 15, 20 minutes into it. So rich coffee, very nutty roasted nuts, black pepper, rich cinnamon, coating the tongue, long heavy finish, beautiful exquisite Don Carlos. So picture somewhere between not as strong as a Don Carlos Personal Reserve, but stronger than any regular Don Carlos. And the finish is so beautiful. It's so heavy. It's so long. So I can't say it's sweet tip Dream Life, but I almost can say it. There is a uncanny sweetness stuck to the lips that if it's not sweet tipped, I'm not saying it is, but maybe perhaps with that overabundant full pack and maybe that much more sweeter tobacco, I don't know. With so much more in it, maybe because you're starting off in the last third, and I don't know, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say officially on the record it's sweet tip, but on the lips it's the sweetest Don Carlos as far as that presence. Not even smoking, just so I don't know. I'm leaning more towards something is affecting that sweetness. I'm not saying it's a sweet tip, maybe. I'm not saying that, but also maybe perhaps the tobacco. Because think about it. Always your initial impression is always what hits you the most. You remember the most. Due to that short size and with much more thicker, darker tobacco in that pack, if you can see that, than normal Don Carlos. Maybe because there's such a short size, when you have a longer cigar, as the smoke goes through, some of that smoke gets lost. It gets absorbed into the tobacco before it gets to you. Not called resistance, called loss. You can call it taxes. But if your smoke is 6 inches away, time it gets to you, you're not getting that full puff. Some of that smoke is lost. It's absorbed into the tobacco. What if, due to this short size, starting kind of in the last third, you're just getting the truest intent? Maybe that's the possibility. You're not losing any of that smoke immediately. And so maybe, I don't know. Phenomenal cigar. Phenomenal. But they are definitely good. I think they used a lot of glue to keep this cigar together. Because if you notice right here, little shards of tobacco I don't normally see that on Don Carlos are stuck there, and that's just from, maybe that's like a dried up pectin. And maybe that was due to the size and such a full pack with the light Cameroon tobacco, how thin it is. Maybe they used a lot of motherfucking glue, pectin, fruit pectin, to make sure this thing didn't unravel. Maybe they didn't take a chance. Yeah, we're at a heavy medium full in the last third. 4.8 bucks worth at MSRP. At $15, still try it. At 20, go for it. Once or twice, check it out if you can find it. At 30, 40, 50, at that point, you're like, hey, look, maybe you live once, you want to try it. At the point of, if you could get Don Carlos Personal Reserve, though, at 30 bucks versus a bowl, then that's maybe a toss-up. If they're both the same price, I think the Personal Reserve is a little better. And you get, I don't know. They're both great cigars. With the bowl is very rare, so. Apparently, you got the Andalusian bowl, you got the eye of the bowl. Next, we'll have the cock of the bowl, the balls of the bowl, the brain of the bowl, the spine of the bowl, the tail of the bowl. Everybody's worshiping Baal, the sacred bowl, huh? This cigar is far from bullshit. Phenomenal. The presence on the tongue and the teeth is phenomenal. Fantastic cigar. 4.8. Nothing bad to say about it. Unique. Kind of bizarre. It's like a Don Carlos Joe Pesci. A shorter, crazy, stronger version, I guess. I'll see you around. Wish you the best dream life. Much appreciated. I never would have found this cigar here in Colorado. Whatever limited production they have on this cigar would have been sold out already. So much appreciated, brother. And that's that.